Welcome back to Meandering Molly. Quite a short video today of an inter-club race I did with other boats from Portsmouth Harbour. My dad and I drove all the way over to Molly from East Sussex just for the race, but with a sunny day and a forecast of a good strong breeze from the southwest, it was worth the early get-up. The race start was close to the shore off Gosport, around No Man's Land Fort and out to the NAB Tower, almost 10 miles from Portsmouth. The third leg would take us back inshore to round the Winner Buoy off Langstone Harbour, followed by the only beat on the course, across back to No Man's Land Fort, rounding it to starboard, and then a reach back to the start. The beat was to be more challenging than we expected, as you'll see. The start was very choppy in the shallow water opposite the old Haslar Royal Hospital, and I was too busy to film anything. We made a conservative start, as I didn't want to get close to the other boats on the short start line. With a strong breeze, I resisted the urge to only take in a single reef and decided to go with 2 reefs in the main and both foresails. This proved to be the correct choice. With only a single reef, we would have been overpowered. My dad took the helm in this race, whilst I managed the sheets. There was a strong flood tide running, and we had to allow leeway to get around the fort. There is a lot of commercial shipping in the Eastern Solent, but fortunately this German flag ship was anchored, so we were able to pass close to her stern without having to divert our course out to the NAB. After a while, we could see the southern shore of the Isle of Wight open up. I was expecting rougher conditions as we got out of the lee of the island, but in the event we didn't see much difference. The NAB Tower marks the deep water entry to the Eastern Solent. We gave the tower a wide berth as we rounded it and jibed onto our new course north towards the mainland again. The course passes through the shipping lane, but you couldn't say this ship didn't give 2 hoots, because it turned to port so we could stay on course. We saw a few boats cruising, including a fellow Cornish Crabber, making its way downwind towards Chichester Harbour on jib only. I think this is a pilot cutter. Having rounded the Winner Buoy, we began our beat. One of the tacks gave us reasonable progress towards the next mark, but the other gave us almost none. This is Horse Sand Fort, not No Man's Land Fort that we were aiming for. In the distance I could see a very large container ship out of Southampton, passing cows and moving towards us. My AIS confirmed we would definitely not have time to cross the shipping channel until after it had passed. Fortunately, our favourable tack took us along the edge of the channel, so we stood on far longer than we would have chosen. To make matters still more inconvenient, a pair of cargo vessels were approaching from the other direction. I judged that we could pass between them, and we made our tack just as the first of the 2 drew a beam. We were then able to safely cross the shipping lane in front of the second one. The tide was flooding strongly as we passed the fort and bore away on our final leg and crossed the finish line some 4 hours after our start, having covered about 25 miles over the ground. These 2 ferries crossing over each other in front of Gosport are the Portsmouth to Isle of Wight ferry going to Wootton Creek, and you have to be careful of these because they go outside the normal shipping channel into the shallow water. This green ferry looks very much like the Gosport to Portsmouth ferry, so I'm not sure what it's doing out of the channel, but it's obviously off on some kind of adventure. All that remained was to run down to the harbour entrance and return to our berth. I love Portsmouth Harbour, and there's always a lot going on as we pass into the harbour. Ferries, cargo ships, naval ships and small boats of all kinds. On this occasion we passed steam pinnace 199, built in 1909 seeing service during the world wars of the last century, restored and part of the Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. If you're still watching this, thanks for sticking to the end. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. This encourages the algorithm to show these videos and means you'll know straight away when I release a new film. See you next time.